So welcome back, class. So we'll be continuing from where we left off in the previous class on the sporting spirit. George Orwell's The Sporting Spirit. In the previous class, I told you, what makes a very good essay, right? How is a very good essay made? Like, something that inspires you, something that has affected you, something that you are deeply bothered about. It gave you sleepless nights. Why is it like this? Why is it happening this way? Why couldn't it be better? When you see something happening in society that you can't necessarily accept or digest, you definitely pour it out either on words or through the written word. You can write an essay, you can write a novel, you can write a short story, or you can write a poem about it. So here George Orwell writes a wonderful little essay titled The Sporting Spirit. And I told you the difference between sports and games. Isn't it? Sports, the aim there in sports is competition, competition, and competition. The reason why we play games is for unity purposes. That's why we have the Olympic Games, the Commonwealth Games, and a whole lot of other games where unity is pivotal or important or preferred over competition. Right? That's why in the Olympic Games you'll have the Olympic torch going around all the countries of the world, and even on the Olympic Day, you'll have a parade of all the nations going around the Olympic Stadium. That's because they prefer unity over and above everything else. So in this particular essay, right, George Orwell talks about the importance of having a sporting spirit. Sporting spirit means you do something, you play something, you play a match. It could be cricket or football, but you do it for the sport, not for being a ruffian, because sport should make you a better citizen. But here, unfortunately, he found that sports did not make them better. Two words he uses there, right? One is called goodwill, the other is called ill will. It makes them bad. It makes them feel very bad. So, he says, why are you fighting when the referee is there, the football referee? What happens is, the people there, they boo the referee. Boo means they make him, feel very bad. They make him feel embarrassed. They boo the referee. The crowd is very violent. They behave like hooligans or ruffians. And why is this? Right? Can't they see a game as a game, or can't they see a match as a match? Why do they want to boo or jeer a person, taunt a person? What is the referee? The referee is just doing his work. He's just being part of the process. Why do you want to do that? And he tries to analyze how the concept of sports arose in the ancient days, and how today each sport has become a heavily financed activity. So he says today sport is not played for the sake of sport alone. When Tendulkar hits a six, he is doing India proud. He's not playing for himself. He's playing for India. When Shoaib Akhtar, I told uh, hits a six, he's a bowler actually. Right? So when he knocks out a person, that means, right, he's doing Pakistan proud. So how a person does not play for the spirit of the game, but he or she plays it with other things in mind. And that's the reason why the fight arises. But when I play just for the sake of playing, playing for the sake of playing, I won't have this fighting, spirit, or I will not necessarily jeer others, taunt others with my personal embarrassments. And through the essay, I'll just give you that. This is the second part. I'll just give you an outline today, a broad outline, and then give you some ideas to approach, the wonderful skill of reading. Sport as an unfailing cause of ill will. I told the opposite of goodwill. Ill will means ketta ennam, right? Ill will. And then he talks about the sports played for exercise and sports played for prestige. In those days, when they played a sport, it could be football or kabaddi or volleyball or basketball or cricket, they played it for the exercise, for the fun of it, isn't it? When we played on the village green, in the Maidan, in the playground, in our schools, we played it for, the exercise. We have games hour, right? PT period we'll have. So we'll play it for the sake of games. But after that, what happened was, right, sports was played for prestige. Prestige means status. So if you played a particular sport, it has some prestige associated with it, right? Why? Because, right, right, yeah, it's here. The attitude of the spectators gets aggravated. The ones who see it, they become ferocious when they see the game because it is played for prestige. So I am not playing my normal game. I'm always nervous. I'm always afraid when I play a game of cricket or a game of uh, soccer, football, because I play for prestige, not for myself. Then he analyzes the modern sport and its ancient origin, how it all evolved, and then today, how it has become a heavily financed activity. And just giving an outline, right, to the whole essay for you today. Tomorrow we'll do the essay fully. Heavily financed activity in the sense, right, it makes a lot of money. There are sponsors who sponsor a lot of money for advertisements for this particular game. And that's why he says, today it has become heavily financed activity. And then finally, he says, what is good sportsmanship? Good sportsmanship, right, is right having the sporting spirit. So in the third line, he says there, no, in the true spirit of sportsmanship, for the glory of sport and the honor of our teams. Every player should imbibe these qualities of sportsmanship, which would go a long way in promoting the sporting spirit between nations. I'm just giving you an outline. Why this essay? He was very much affected because he saw a game or a sport, a particular match being played between two nations, and they were fighting it out like anything. Right? More than the players, the audience was pathetic. They were attacking each other. They were throwing water bottles at each other. Like sometimes, in high-five matches, they'll do it. No, they'll throw water bottles. They'll throw whatever comes to their hand and make the whole thing a mess. They don't just sit back and relax and look at it as pure entertainment. The reason is behind that, there is a lot of funding that's happening. And so everyone feels that they are playing for the national prestige or international prestige. When he hits a six, then the nation goes up. When he is clear bowled, then the nation is lost. So that's why when a particular team wins the match, they'll say India wins, right? So it is not Tendulkar wins or it is not Team 11 wins. It is India wins. So this is the prestige that associates itself with the game. And he says this is not good for the game because they don't play their natural game, right? Having said that, I'll take a brief respite since some of you have been asking me about, a few other ways to improve yourself. I thought this will be the right platform to tell you, right, about how to improve yourself in the um, uh, literature and the language component, right? Every day, what you're supposed to do as students of Madras Christian College and my students particularly, right? What do we expect you? If in our real-time classes, I would have even demonstrated for you. But since these are very short-time classes, I'm just giving you an idea of what you guys should do every day in the morning after you wake up. Do your meditation, yoga, dhyana, prayers, whatever, and after that, please make sure you read the day's newspapers, at least 3 newspapers of the day. Right, every day I read at least 6 newspapers. Right, the Indian Express. Right, I read 6 newspapers every morning. It takes me at least 1.5 hours. Right, so the Hindu. This is today's the Hindu. Right, I last year your seniors must have told you every day they bring what is called the newspaper with them. Right, they'll have to bring an English newspaper with them, Malayalam Manorama, then the Hindu, then the Dinamani. I every day I read it. Right, after almost 20 years of experience as a teacher, right? Even today, every morning I read, or we, all of us teachers, we read the newspapers. Now you are growing up kids, right? So all the more important that you buy the newspaper, 4 rupees, the Times of India. The Hindu is 5 rupees. Read them, especially read the editorial column. Your language will improve in leaps and bounds. Editorial page is there. It is called the brain of a newspaper, the think tank of a newspaper. Read it every day, at least for 30 minutes to 45 minutes minimum reading. Don't always watch the news. Don't watch the news because words have their own power. You can't build your vocabulary when you watch the news. When you read something, also have a diary with you, right? You can have I note it down. If I learn a new word every day, I write it down, I note it down, and then, right, after a few days, you can look back, see what I've written. Every day you will learn a lot of new words when you read the newspaper, isn't it? So 30 to 45 minutes every day till the last day of your life, not college life, right? Every day it should become a practice. Morning you can go for a walk, and when you come back, right, buy the newspaper, read it. If you have a good reading group, share the news on the reading group. It will be an inspiration for you. Share with them what you have learned today from the newspaper, right? The editorial, it is beautifully sequenced, isn't it? The main page, that is called the front page. The front page is the main page, right? This is the main page. And then, right, we call it the front page. And it also has, a newspaper has what is called supplement, a supplement, right? A supplement is something that comes along with the newspaper, right? It is an added, every day you will have some supplement, science and technology supplement, young world supplement, or education plus supplement, the Friday review supplement. Like this, many supplements could be there every day for the newspaper, right? So it comes along with a supplement. The front page, then you'll have the city news, followed by the state news, followed by the national news, followed by the international news, followed by business news, followed by sports news, right? So see how beautifully they have structured the whole thing. So how much information every day we get. But some of us, we don't read the newspapers. Most of you read, I'm sure, right? Some of us don't read the newspaper. We are doing ourselves a lot of injustice when we do that, right? So every day, read the newspaper for 30 to 45 minutes as students, right? And then, right, after you finish reading the newspaper, what you can do is, right, you can take a walk or take a stroll, then come back, read one book, just 15 minutes, any one book of your choice. Good. I'm so happy that 10 minutes you read. Whoever reads, blessings and wishes for you. So happy for you, right? At least 15 minutes you should read any one book, not your textbooks. Please remember, your textbooks are for your exams, but you should equip yourself for life, isn't it? Right? There is one particular writer whom I love a lot. His name is Robin Sharma. You must have heard of him. He has written many books, wonderful books. One particular book he has written is Mega Living. Right? Please read this book, high motivation. Right? I'll also pass it on to you. Mega Living. Right? In this particular book, he says, you are valued based on the books that you have. உங்களுடைய மதிப்பு உங்களுடைய புத்தகங்களை பொறுத்துதான் இருக்கிறது. நீங்கள் படிக்கும் புத்தகங்கள். You are valued based on the books that you have, right? So he says, have a personal excellence library. I repeat, personal excellence library. You should have a library for yourself. There, at least a minimum of 100 books you should have. If I come to your house, sir, you come to my house, sir, I'll show you my library. That's what you should say. Sir, I have a lot of cars, dolls. Not that good, but beyond that, you should say as a student, right? Many students, when I was as a resident staff in Salur Hall, 2002, they used to tell me, right, sir, come to my room and see the library that I have. It will be a very small room, you all know, no? All the halls, but they will take me to the room to show me their library, little library they'll have. Buying books, not PDF books. Please remember, if everyone buys PDF books, that means tomorrow no one will write books. The reason is, right, PDF books, you don't pay anything. So you should buy a book, 150 rupees or 200 rupees. Buy a book, or even 100 rupees. Go to the book exhibition, buy a book, start reading, collect, have your own personal collection. If you come to my house, I will show you my library, how many stacks I have, what are the books I'm reading, today what book I'm reading, right? Daily, I read, 15 pages to 20 pages of, right, one particular book. So you can also do like that. After finishing your reading, you can do your regular, routine. Please remember, I have told you, you don't have free time, right? All the time that you have is spare time. What is spare time? Spare time is the time that you get between your work hours. It's not free time. Till the time you get into a very good job or position in life, you have what is called only spare time. So you should make good use of it. And after, doing all your work, that is your academic schedules and other things, you will have time in the evening, right? You can divide it into reading your academic work and other things. Night again, have what is called your personal space. This personal space, at least 1 hour. If everyone, wants to respect you, everyone has to respect you. That means you should cherish this personal space. How do you do that? Right? In this personal space, have a little diary, 2020 diary. This morning, what did I do? I bought 3 newspapers. I read this. Then today, I spent money on this. Right? Write down in a diary. Every day you should write down a diary. I will show you my diaries from 1993 onwards. Right? Till date, I'm writing every day. I write a diary. 1993 onwards. Last year, for the first MA class, I took all my diaries to the class. I'm not exaggerating. Right? I took all my diaries to the first MA class and placed it on the table. Right? Why? To tell them to write diary. And I told them, you can see any of my diaries. When I did my schooling, where I did my schooling, what homework they gave me today, physics teacher, what homework, chemistry teacher, what homework, everything will be written. And last 5 lines for today's news. Today, Chief Minister spoke on this. Today, the Prime Minister spoke on this. Right? Every day. From 93 onwards, I have my diaries. When we meet in the real-time classes also, I can show you. Every day you should write a diary. Right? After that, when you grow up, when you look back, my goodness, I've written so much. You'll have that satisfaction, right? And a satisfaction that you have spent every day meaningfully. Right? So write a diary, and apart from this, do creative writing. What is creative writing? If you are good at writing essays, good at writing poems, good at writing novels, start writing. Even, I told, last week, 3 of our students have published books, right? And this week, right, one of our students, past students, she's publishing a book of poetry. So, you can publish, you can write for magazines, you can write for periodicals, you can do it as a part-time exercise also, right? Write in the nights when you are free, calm. You should show me. It's in the holidays, I've written so much. Not everyone in the class will make use of their personal space. I'm telling you this also. Maybe in a class of 100 students, maybe 10 will be using the time productively. They'll write something. They'll be concerned about the future. Join with them. Connect with such people. They are your friends. Others are not your friends. Others are draining you of your money. I've told you previously, when you start studying, when you open your book to study, if your friend tells you, Machan, come, we'll go for a movie, she or he is your first enemy in the whole world. Now you are here to equip yourself, to study, to come up in life, and one day will come. Please remember, 24/7, someone, somewhere is always watching you, admiring you, taking you as a role model. Somebody, somewhere, you don't know. You don't know. You won't know. But somewhere somebody is making use of you as a role model, is looking upon you. Oh, wonderful, this girl. See the way she reads, see the way she writes, see the way she makes use of her creative space, see the way she relates with everyone with a smile. Right? Always have a little smile at least on your face. எப்பொழுதும் ஒரு புன்னகையை முகத்தில் தவழ விடுங்கள். Right? Because every day, if I'm going to be very sad, right? What's the reason of my existence? Right? Every day, if I keep scolding everyone, every day, if I look down on everyone, I accuse everyone. Just imagine, I don't have a smile on my face. Only once in a month or once in a year I smile. What's the use of my life? Right? Every day, I should have a smile on my face. I should give smile to others also and appreciate others. Today, how many people did you appreciate? How many people did you encourage? Did you go and tell your mom, Ma, your food is so good. Appa, right? Thank you for giving me this. How many of you have said that? Encouragement, appreciating others is very important, right? This is called stewardship. Stewardship means I am answerable to myself. I will have a personal space. I will make use of it because somebody somewhere is watching me. And I write something, I read something, I share it with others. When I did that, when I started reading, first my friends were very critical. They said, oh, you are very padips, you are always a learner. But soon they also started started along with me in reading. So they came to the library along with me. I used to sit in the library, I told 2 to 7 in the afternoons. So they also came. So together as a class we developed the habit of reading. And today many of us have published a lot of books. The reason is, right, we read a lot. Please remember, the mind cannot bring forth its own baby, its own creation, unless it is washed by a vast river of literature. I repeat, the mind cannot bring forth its own baby. மனது அதனுடைய குழந்தையை பெற்றெடுக்க வேண்டுமானால் அது என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, it should be washed by a vast river of literature. நூல்களால் அந்த மனது அப்படியே கழுவப்பட்டிருக்க வேண்டும். புத்தகங்கள், ரைட்? யூ ஷுட் பி வாஷ்ட் பை வாஸ்ட் ரிவர் ஆஃப் லிட்ரேச்சர். எந்த புக் இருந்தாலும் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், ரைட்? அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு 5 years பேக், 6 years பேக், there was a student in my class. Her name is Salina Hasma, right? I'll tell you, right? She is now a news reader in a famous Tamil television channel. She is a news reader, Salina, right? One day in my class, I asked them, second in my class, the next moment, how many of you can write on the blackboard 25 novelists or 25 writers? I asked. And these writers should not be part of your academic syllabus. It should not be part of your academics. Academics இல்லாம படிப்பு சாராத எழுத்தாளர்கள் 25 பேர் எழுத முடியுமா? I said. You know what I promised? 1,000 rupees I promised. I said, I'll give you 1,000 rupees if you can write 25 writers apart from your academic. நீங்கள் படிப்புக்கு prescribe பண்ணதை விட apart from that, apart from those who are prescribed for your study. I challenged the whole class. 43 students were there. So some students came forward. They wrote 15 to 20. Then Salina came. Salina Hasma, right? She's well known in the Tamil department, right? She was in the Tamil Peravai also. She came and she wrote, sir, you want me to write 25? I will write 50, right? And she started writing all the writers, எழுத்தாளர்கள். And she started writing all the writers whom she knew. What did I promise them? I promised 1,000 rupees. If you can write how many writers? 25 writers. But you know how many she wrote? She wrote 50 writers. She is a reader. I was so moved. I was so touched. I immediately presented her with 2,000 rupees. I'm not exaggerating. She's a, you ask your Tamil department staff members, they know her very well. So you should be able to do that, right? A minimum of 25 writers. If I ask you now, can you tell me, right? I'm not going to ask you now. When we meet in class, maybe I'll ask you. Minimum of 50 writers. And show me, sir, in my whole life, I've written so much. You want to sir. with my own handwriting, with my own pen, right? I've written so much. Pakrீங்களா? Can you publish it for me? We publish it free of cost for you. முடிஞ்ச அளவு, எங்களால முடிஞ்ச அளவு we'll publish it free of cost for you, right? With great publishers. Sai Shri Ramamurthy, one of our kids, she's publishing this week with Emerald Publishers. Right? We will do it for you. Only thing you need to do is, right? அந்த ஊக்கமும் உற்சாகமும் உங்களுக்கு இருக்கும். You should have that, right, energy, that inspiration, that excitement, that enthusiasm. Right? This evening, don't postpone good things. நல்ல காரியங்களை தள்ளி போடக்கூடாது. Others might be distracted. They will have a lot of programs on TV to watch. Daily night they will sit on, IPL or Big Boss or anything. You can do that, right? But not now. When you get into a very good job, right? நல்ல ஒரு வேலையில வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் you can sit relaxed and see whatever you want, right? But now what you should think of, ஒரே ஒரு காரியத்தை மட்டும் you should have in mind. What is that one thing? I'll just tell you. Think about that day. Think about that day. ஒரு நாள் வரும். One day will come. That day, I will earn my own money. இல்லையா? முதல் சேலரின்னு சொல்லுவோம். Right? One day will come when I will earn my first salary. My first salary in my life. இப்ப நீங்க நிறைய பேர், I don't know whether you are earning something. You won't be doing it now. But one day will come when you will earn your முதல் salary. Isn't it? அது salary. நான் அப்படிதான். I told you, when I got my first salary, I didn't open it at all. I அழகா wrap பண்ணி வச்சு, I brought it to my parents from Madurai. I was working in Madurai in a very famous college there, the American college. So அப்படியே எடுத்துட்டு வந்து அப்பா அம்மா உட்கார வச்சு, I made them sit. And அம்மா was in the kitchen making something. Daddy was reading the newspapers. I made both of them sit, right? And I fell at their feet. கால்ல விழுந்து ஆசீர்வாதம் வாங்கி I gave it to them, right? I gave it in their hands. அம்மா அப்பா ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்ணுங்க. The joy that they get, when they see their daughter, when they see their son earning the first salary, is incomparable. அதை வர்ணிக்கவே முடியாது. You can't describe this, isn't it? The feeling, right, cannot be described. So dad, got the money and he was counting it just because of joy. Do you think he needs the money? அவருக்கு அந்த பணம் தேவையா? தேவையே கிடையாது. He doesn't need the money. Crores of rupees கொட்டி தீர்த்தாலும் அது அதற்கு நிகராகாது, isn't it? Even if you spend crores of money and give it to your, earn crores of money and give it to your dad, it cannot compensate the love that they have for us. And that teardrop that came down from my mom's eyes, right? அம்மாவுடைய கண்ணுல இருந்து அந்த ஆனந்த கண்ணீர், அத மனசுல வச்சுக்கோ, right? Have that in mind today. And because today a lot of distractions we have because of the cell phone, isn't it? A lot of distractions we will have, but you take a resolve. Sabadam, urudimoli, sir, I will read 3 newspapers in the morning. I will read, right, at least 1 book every day. And then evening I will do some creative writing. Night I will definitely write my diary. Daily, if you can take this pledge, you will get a lot of respect. அர்த்தமுள்ள வாழ்வு. Right? And you need not think about anyone else now. Friends என்ன தப்பா நினைப்பான். My friends will think bad about me. Right? If I'm not in a group. Even today, I am just part of 3 groups in WhatsApp. I'm telling you again. Right? I'm not in part of any other group. Just 3 groups. And I'm not on Facebook or Instagram. Daily I read, I write a lot. You can also do that. Right? You will be a role model to someone somewhere. அதுதான் அர்த்தமுள்ள வாழ்வு. Right? So today, right, go back and tomorrow when you come to class, you should tell me. Next classல நீங்க எனக்கு சொல்லணும், சார் நான் இந்த புக்கை வாங்கினேன் அல்லது இந்த புக்கை படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கேன். It could be Tamil, it could be Telugu, it could be Malayalam, right? It could be Hindi, it could be English. ஏதாவது ஒரு புக், சார் I have started reading this book. என்னுடைய students, everyone does that. Right? My MA students ஒரு புக்கை படிச்சாங்கன்னா அதை போட்டோ எடுத்து எனக்கு அனுப்புவாங்க. சார் இந்த புக் நான் படிக்கிறேன் சார், ஐ எம் ரீடிங் திஸ் புக் வித் சச் எக்ஸைட்மெண்ட், they'll do that. இப்போ நேத்து இல்ல, வருஷ கணக்கா 10 years back, 15 years back, 20 years back எல்லாம் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து they will right, சார் ஐ எம் ரீடிங் திஸ் புக். நீங்களும் செய்யலாம். ரைட், சார் நான் இந்த புக் படிக்கிறேன் அப்படி சொன்னீங்கன்னா you will get some satisfaction. Why? Because 1 month from now I'll ask you about the book. அந்த புக் எப்படி இருந்துச்சு, நல்லா இருந்துச்சா, I'll ask you. Right, how was the book? Was it really exciting? அந்த புக்ல உங்களுக்கு என்ன பிடிச்சிருந்துச்சு? Who was the character you liked a lot? It could be non-fiction also. புதினம் நாவல் தான் இல்ல, it need not be a novel, it could be non-fiction also. Right, so today take a resolve, right, on a wonderful Monday morning. Please don't worry about your assignments, your marks, everything. In MCC, right, we don't worry about our marks, right, we worry about our overall personality. பெரிய சிந்தனையாளர்கள், you know, right, great thinkers have come out of this wonderful prestigious institution. டாக்டர் ராதாகிருஷ்ணன்ல இருந்து டிஎன் சேஷன்ல இருந்து பெரிய பெரிய ஆட்கள் they have come out. The president of India, just imagine, no, great Indra Nooyi, PepsiCo உடைய CEO. ஏன்னா they did not think about their marks at all. மதிப்பெண்களை பற்றியே நினைக்கவில்லை. They wanted to equip themselves in MCC. உங்களுக்கு அதற்கு ஏற்றார் போல் ஒரு நல்ல சாதகமான, you have a beautiful atmosphere, சூழ்நிலை இல்லையா, you have a beautiful atmosphere. Today you should start. Tomorrow you can snap photo எடுத்து அனுப்புங்க, சார் இந்த புக் நான் படிக்கிறேன். But it should not be an academic book. It should not be connected with anything academic, right? உங்களுக்கு பிரிஸ்கிரைப் ஆன புக்கை போட்டோ எடுத்து எனக்கு அனுப்புறது அது ஈஸி, anyone can do that, isn't it? பிரசுரிக்கப்படாத ஒரு புத்தகம், பட் எனக்கு ஆசை சார், ஐ வாண்டட் டு ரீட் திஸ் பர்சன், அதனால படிக்கிறேன், எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கு, ஐ லைக் ரீடிங் திஸ் பர்சன். You know, if you do that, right, then you are leading a meaningful life and you will be a great inspiration, a great role model for others. பத்தியா இந்த பொண்ணு பாரு எப்படி படிக்கிறா பாரு, புக்ஸ், right, because we are in the arts departments. Science na they will have pipette, burette, right, a whole lot of experiments. White la dhaan varanum, they should go to the lab, do a lot of experiments, so difficult, you can't even imagine, isn't it? But we are all blessed because we don't have anything like that. Just relax, read, take your coffee or chai, then read, write, இதுதான். And the future for arts is immense, இல்லையா? ஆர்ட்ஸுக்கு அவ்வளவு நல்ல எதிர்காலம் இருக்குது. ஆனா you should make your mark. I'll just close with a wonderful line for you, quotation. இதுவரை யாரும் செய்யாத ஒரு காரியத்தை, ஒரு சாதனையை நான் செய்ய வேண்டும். இதுவரை என்னுடைய ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் யாருமே நினைத்து கூட பார்க்காத ஒரு சாதனை நான் செய்ய வேண்டும். இந்த எண்ணம், உயர்ந்த எண்ணம், உள்ளுவதெல்லாம் உயர்வுள்ளல், ரைட்? யாருமே இந்த மாதிரி செய்ய மாட்டாங்க, டெய்லி 1 hour படிக்க மாட்டாங்க, நான் செய்யணும். No one will write the diary, but I should write. Right? No one will appreciate their அம்மா. அம்மா கிட்ட போய் யாராவது நன்றி சொல்லிருப்பீங்களா? ரைட், அம்மா எனக்கு நீங்க நல்ல சோறு கொடுத்தீங்க, நல்ல தோசை கொடுத்தீங்க. Has anyone done that? யாருமே செய்ய மாட்டாங்க, ஆனா நான் செய்வேன். Right? I will go and ஒரு முத்தம் கொடுத்து, அம்மா இங்க வா, உனக்கு ஒரு முத்தம் தருகிறேன், இன்னும் அழகா எனக்கு டெய்லி சமைச்சு போடுறேன், நான் எவ்வளவு பெரிய புண்ணியம் பண்ணிருக்கணும், I should be blessed that you are cooking for me daily. அதை நான் உங்களுக்கு தலையெழுத்தா? ரைட், யாரும் செய்ய மாட்டாங்க, ஆனா நான் செய்வேன். அம்மா நீ போய் உட்காரு, you sit alone, I will do the food today. நான் இன்னைக்கு சமையல் செய்யறேன். யாரும் செய்ய மாட்டாங்க, நான் செய்யறேன். என்னுடைய தனித்துவம், that is my individuality, that is my uniqueness. தனித்துவம் என்பது உங்களுக்கு அடையாளமாக இருக்கட்டும். தனித்துவம் என்பதே உங்களுக்கு அடையாளமாக இருக்கட்டும். Thank you. We'll continue the next class. Right, today take this resolve and I wish you a very happy time as a student of Madras Christian College. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.